So today's episode, we're doing a mixed martial arts fighter. But the one of the interesting tidbits about this guy is his name.
Ooh,
His name is BJ Penn.
BJ Penn.
His dad's name is JD Penn.
Ooh, JD, BJ, JD. Okay.
JD Penn had 4 kids.
Ooh,
JD Penn's first kid named JD Penn.
JD Penn Jr.
Not Junior, just
Oh.
JD Penn. He goes by J.
Oh, okay. Then we got
His second child, also named JD Penn the second. He goes by JD.
okay.
His third son, his name is JD Penn the third.
Of course, he goes by Trey. Tell me he goes by Trey.
He goes by Baby J.
Oh shit, Baby J.
Baby J.
My sweet Baby J. I think that's a barbecue sauce.
And so that's now it's shortened to BJ.
Yeah.
That's who we're talking about today is BJ Penn.
Oh,
The prodigy BJ Penn.
Prodigy. Is there any more? I mean,
But it's Reagan.
Reagan.
Reagan Penn.
Loveable losers hanging out in the living room. Loveable losers telling stories and maybe drinking beers. Lovable losers.
So our subject matter today is
The Prodigy BJ Penn.
born December 13th, 1978.
Oh, okay. Older than us.
JD Penn the third is his birth name, but he goes by BJ Penn. Baby J.
Baby J.
The reason for his nickname is because he was a prodigy in the sport of Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Is he Brazilian?
He's not. He's Hawaiian. He was born in Hawaii.
Wow.
He started training Brazilian jiu-jitsu when he was 17, and in less than 3 years, he was a black belt. And in the year 2000, he won. He was the first non-Brazilian to win the BJJ World Championship in Brazil. You know, he was the first guy that wasn't a Brazilian to win that.
Damn.
And that's why he's called the Prodigy. I got my friend. He did the announcer voice. It wasn't on the UFC video game,
Oh yeah.
but it was on another video game.
Oh nice.
Frank Fists of Glory. So this is Bryson Palmier
Oh.
doing the ring announcers. Like
All
anytime that there's a fighter's name,
Sounds-
like BJ Penn, we had him earlier where it was like the Prodigy BJ Penn. You heard that?
Yeah.
That was Bryson
Oh
Palmier.
okay. And we're
Yeah.
gonna talk to him. Or?
No, just throughout the show, when we mention a fighter, it's gonna key like him saying the name of the fighter.
Oh nice. Okay.
So
Ooh, I
if
like
you
that.
hear that in your headset, then that's what it is. You know?
Oh word.
So the Prodigy has a pretty interesting mixed martial arts career, but a little side note right before his career starts is the other guy that was the option for this episode. So I had the Prodigy and then Lil Evil was the other guy.
Yeah.
So
that's
in-
scary.
February of 2001, Lil Evil won a decision against Cal Uno, and he was the inaugural lightweight title champion of the UFC. So
Huh,
in
okay.
February of 2001, Jens Pulver, first ever lightweight champion for the UFC.
Okay. Damn.
BJ Penn, his career starts in May of 2001.
Just 3 months later.
Yeah. And his 2001 is ridiculous.
He rules the world.
Yeah. So he fought in 3 fights, all 3 first round knockouts, UFC 31, UFC 32, and UFC 34.
What happened in 33?
So May, June, and November.
He had a cold.
Well, yeah, I mean,
What
fighting,
happened?
fighting 2 back to back is crazy.
But like, I have to know what happened for 33. What?
In his first 3 UFC pay-per-views, he won in
Nice.
first round KOs each time.
Cha-ching,
The first time it was 3 seconds before the first round was over.
cha-ching.
Second time it was about halfway through the
Cha-ching.
first round. And then the third time was a highlight. It was one of the biggest highlights of his career. It was the third fight of his career.
Ooh.
It's this fight against Cal Uno, who's the guy that lost the championship fight to.
Is his first name
Loveable.
Cal?
Yeah, it's
Like
it's
C-A-L?
Caol.
Oh, okay.
Cal Uno.
Okay.
I don't think he had a nickname either, but we didn't get the announcer guy to say that, so I wasn't able to confirm. Cal Uno charges across the ring, tries to do this flying knee thing, flies by him, and then BJ Penn just storms in and beats him down into the ground. 11-second knockout.
Damn.
Yeah, one of the fastest knockouts in UFC history. Still,
And what year was this?
2001, November of 2001.
I would have loved to see that fight. I love quick fights.
Yeah, and then so this 11-second knockout sets him up to challenge Little Evil for the lightweight championship.
Little Evil. Jens Pulver. Little Evil is coming for your ass.
Jens Pulver versus BJ Penn, January of 2002.
Oof. I remember it well.
Yep. Jens wins a majority decision.
What?
Yep.
That's not a fight.
Yeah, it's a close fight. Probably a lot of back and forth.
That's an exhibition of two gentlemen in fisticuffs.
Yep. But right after that fight, Jens leaves the UFC.
Yeah, good.
And so the rest of his career, he fights another 32 fights, and only 2 more of his fights are in the UFC. He comes back briefly. Most of his career was outside of the UFC, but he was also he's a UFC Hall of Famer, and BJ Penn is obviously a UFC Hall of Famer as well.
They
But,
made it. They made it past the Hall of Very Good.
Yep. But Jens Pulver defends for the second time his lightweight championship, and then he leaves the UFC because of a contract dispute.
Damn.
Yep.
Money. Money, 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 money. I can't finish that because then we'd have to pay.
Yep. Yeah, so after that loss, he recovers with a second round TKO in UFC 37. He beats Paul Creighton.
Hey, so he had a gap between 34 and 37.
Yep.
All right. That's
And then later in 2002, September, UFC 39, they start the lightweight tournament to
Keep
name
this
a
from
new
happening.
champion.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a
'cause
tournament
this
to
other
name a
guy
new
they
champion.
disputed and they I
Yeah.
get it.
So in the tournament semifinals, he faces.
Matt the Terra Sarah.
So Matt Serra is the guy he faces in the tournament semifinals.
Damn.
And unanimous decision victory. So he's into the tournament finals. In the tournament finals, he rematches against his 11-second knockout victim, Cal Uno.
Oh no!
But this UFC 41 lightweight title tournament final was
That's a mouthful.
disastrous. It ended in a tie, a draw.
What the?
Split decision draw.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, so they didn't name a champion, and they put the title belt back up. No champion was named. There wasn't a lightweight champion for another 5 years. We know who it is. After the lightweight tournament thing kind of fell apart, he fought a fight in K1. He won the Rumble and the Rock with a third round against Takanori Gomi, a Japanese fighter, a legendary Japanese fighter.
Okay.
So Takanori Gomi is that's a pretty big win to have on your record. And then he has probably one of the biggest UFC wins he ever had.
Ooh.
He steps up to the welterweight division, and he fights
Matt. Not applicable. Hughes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess not. I don't know. It might have been like a warm fill out thing. I don't know. It was weird.
Huh.
But Matt Hughes, he fights Matt Hughes for the welterweight title, and he wins in a first round. That's a baby got back, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Baby got back, baby, and then it's a rear naked choke. Is why I'm saying baby got back.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't explain that.
Your Anaconda don't want none?
You gotta, yeah. So, well, Baby J gets your back and rear naked chokes you out, then baby got back. So after Matt Hughes, BJ has himself kind of a contract dispute with the UFC, and he leaves the UFC as well. And his title is stripped
Ooh.
a few months later.
Damn.
BJ goes over to K1 and fights. His next 4 fights, they're kind of fights that put him into the legendary class of fighters. You know, he has some really, really big wins. Dwayne Ludwig was his first fight. He beats him in May of 04. And then he fights 2 Gracie brothers, one in November of 04, one in July of 05. Rodrigo and Henzo Gracie.
At the same time or separately?
Different years.
Okay.
And then there's another fight in between those two.
Ah.
But those are both at middleweight, and the fights are in Hawaii. And he
Ooh,
beats
nice.
both the Gracie brothers by unanimous decision. So Gracie is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu royalty. I'm going to keep like marbling that word, but they're Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
2 wins against Gracie brothers, and in between those 2 wins, he has this crazy fight against
Lyoto, the Dragon Machida.
Lyoto is 225 fucking pounds during this fight.
Godly.
BJ gets up to 191. He normally fights at 155, BJ does. And he takes him the distance, loses a unanimous decision of 15 minutes, but he fights Lyoto Machida for 15 minutes. Lyoto Machida, a few years later, is the light heavyweight champion. So, yeah,
Shit.
he fought one of the best light heavyweights in K1 as well. So 2 Gracie brothers, light heavyweight, and then to cap it off, Dwayne Ludwig. You know,
Ludwig.
3-1 in that run of K1.
Damn.
And K1 is actually where I found that video game where I got our announcer voice guy.
Oh, yeah. Fist?
Yeah, Frank Fists of Glory.
Loveable Losers is brought to you by Frank Fists of Glory for Atari and Sega Genesis. Fight as your favorite, nearly professional fighters in arenas that resemble the ones you're accustomed to. The fight is Colton Action Jackson versus Draco, the Snake-O in the Felp Rotunda. Or face off as Steve the Sleeve against Ascot Johnson or Herschel the Merschel or Juggin McGee. Or you can be the one-legged Wonder Walker. Pick your fighter, motherfucker. Frank Fists of Glory. All pre-orders receive a special fighting finishing move called the Liechtenstein Slap. Pre-order today to unlock this amazing special menu ever. Liechtenstein will never be the same. Now back to the show.
Yes, I mean, you really think about it, like, is it faster or slower to suck on a chili dog? Is he eating them quickly, or is he taking his time?
When I'm sucking on a chili dog, I don't experience time.
Interesting perspective. So BJ Penn, after his very slim decision against a much larger opponent, Lyoto Machida, he decides to take a step up, coming back to the UFC, and he steps up to the welterweight class.
What?
Yeah. So his first opponent is no slouch. It is Mr.
George Rush St. Pierre.
Yep. French Canadian Mr. St. Pierre here.
He's
amazing physique, yeah, as you noticed, of course. BJ Penn loses a controversial split decision against
again?
Mr. Rush St. Pierre. So this fight was at welterweight, and Rush he's a bigger guy. George is a bigger guy, and after the fight, he looks like he got hit by a bus, and BJ looks like he's ready to go catch a bus. You know, he looks fine,
Ready to bang.
but the way the rules were, I think. I found there was like interviews where he talks about it. He's like, you know, that's the way the rules were at the time. You know, it was weighted more towards this and not less towards this. You know, So like a lot of the technical victories that he was gaining and, you know, winning the fight basically. Like if it was a street fight, he won. You know, but since the way it was scored, you know, George won that split decision.
Damn.
And that was supposed to set up George to fight for the championship, for the welterweight championship, but George gets injured going up to that fight.
I had nothing to do with that.
Like, did you have
Yeah.
a bat in your head? Whoops. Yeah, so George is injured. He falls out of that fight, and that fight is with none other than
Matt.
Damn.
Just Matt Hughes.
If he could come up with a nickname like he can come up with those calves. Oof.
Yeah.
Ow.
No, Matt, not applicable Hughes. he instead of fighting George, BJ gets that title fight.
Hey!
So after losing the fight to George St. Pierre, he gets the title fight against Matt Hughes.
Ayo!
Loses in a third round TKO.
God, TKO.
Yeah, he was knocked. He was pinned down. You know, a lot of the knockouts are you're pinned down to the ground, and it's called ground and pound. They just uninterrupted punches.
I know all about ground and pound.
Yep. But that was the fight of the night.
I bet.
You know, so they both got a bonus for that fight. After 2006, 0-2 in welterweight fights.
Yeah. Tell me he's coming back down in weights.
Yeah, 2007, he signs up to coach The Ultimate Fighter.
What the? Is that a TV reality show?
Yeah, it's the reality show.
Oh, called it.
He's one of the coaches, and the other coach is Little Evil.
What?
Comes back to the UFC.
Ooh. I'm ready to fight you, brother.
Yep. So Little Evil, he has 2 fights back in the UFC. One of them is against against one of these contestants on the show.
Damn.
So he fights and gets knocked out by Joe Lozon the year before this show. So before the show, he's a coach on it, and one of the fighters on BJ Penn's team knocked him out the year before.
And now he's going to judge this guy.
Yeah. So it was a weird dynamic there.
Yeah. Bit.
But in that Ultimate Fighter 5, Nate Diaz is the winner. He beats Manny Gamburian.
Yep, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so Nate Diaz is one of the big name guys. Joe Lozon, the guy that beat Lil
Joe
Evil.
Lozon slept on my couch for 6 months.
Yeah. Good guy.
But it's only because I burned down his house.
Finale of Tough 7, the Ultimate Fighter 7. He fights Jens Pulver.
7.
Wins second round. Oof. And Jens Pulver then leaves the UFC and
forever.
17 more fights and other organizations.
6 months later, he walked off a cliff.
So the second round rear naked choke victory over Jens Pulver.
Oof, rear naked choke. I love the sound of that maneuver.
That's Baby Got Back.
Can we see that just a couple of times in slow motion? Oh.
Yeah. Well, the next fight he gets the same maneuver, another
rear naked chokehold.
It's a big bloody mess.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is UFC 80 in January of 2008 against Joe Stevenson.
2008 was a hard time for everybody.
Yeah, it was like the
housing
economic
crash.
decline thing happened after that. But that was the submission of the night, and that's when the lightweight championship is reintroduced. So BJ Penn wins the vacant lightweight championship.
Hey, still making wins, still making W's.
Yep. So in 2000, later in 2008, in May, he has his first defense of the lightweight championship against
the Muscle Shark, Sean Shirk.
Muscle Shark. But in the third round of that fight, BJ Penn kind of rushes him and knees him in the head and punches him down to the ground.
But that's allowed, right?
Beats him down, yeah.
Beat down.
Technical knockout victory.
TKOV. Tika Vodka. Brought to you by Tika Vodka.
Yeah.
That's right, Brian. Are you tired of being a loser? Easy. Be badass instead. Loveable Losers is also brought to you by Teacup Vodka. Total Knockout Vodka is 199 proof and made with the finest styrofoam-based grains for your enjoyment. Why live your life as a non-vodka drinking loser? Get took and be a badasses now. Back to them fools in the living room.
Rematch!
UFC 94 in January. But this time, George St. Pierre knocks him out.
Damn. George, I'm not having this. I'm not having this.
Yeah. So there's a fourth round knockout. Golly. George, this is George and BJ both had the title, and that was the first time that a title holder and a title holder fought one another.
Ooh. And so he was the first loser
of that title fight, but the fight was for the welterweight title, so he keeps his title too.
Yeah.
And later that year, in August, he fights in UFC 101, submission of the night, and he has one more title defense of the lightweight championship. Title. So part of the BJ Penn thing was trying to find that point where he kind of hits the peak of his career, But there isn't one
He needs to
definitive
Seinfeld.
place where it's like, oh, he should have hung it up there. He should have hung it up there. Because there's like 4 different points where he's like, maybe he should have hung up there. Maybe he should have hung up there.
Somebody offered him money. He
Yeah.
was going to, but then somebody offered him money. Yeah, every time.
And just the that's
I
who
would
you
do
are.
it.
The allure of that. His whole image is he's a fighter. So
Yeah.
giving up on that was probably really hard.
What's he gonna do? Raise a family?
But this night, December 12th, 2009, UFC 107.
Oof.
That was the day before his 31st birthday.
I was about to try and add up his age.
Yep. He defends his lightweight championship for the 3rd time, setting a UFC record. 3 lightweight championships. 15-5-1 is his record at this point. He beats Diego Nightmare Sanchez, of course, as we said.
Hell yeah!
So yeah, UFC 107 was kind of one of those points where it's like, maybe that's
This is
when he
it.
should
This
have.
is it. Yes,
But
he didn't.
3 fights later was
My dick fell off!
probably one of the biggest highlight knockouts that he ever had. In his, I mean, it was one of the biggest wins of his entire career.
Oh, he's never gonna quit now.
Yeah. So in BJ Penn's career, he had 2 trilogies where he had 3 fights against one guy.
Damn.
One of the trilogies was against Mr. Hughes. So 2010,
Damn.
he-
We're getting.
he starts his second trilogy, and it's against
Frankie, the answer,
The Answer.
Edgar.
The answer.
Frankie the Answer Edgar.
Nice.
He
I-
fights Frankie twice in 2010.
But this is a trilogy. Where's the 3rd time?
It was later on.
Oh, okay.
So the first one is a close, controversial, unanimous decision loss.
Oh.
The Answer wins,
Oof.
and they give BJ an immediate rematch.
Mm.
And so they fight again in August.
Damn.
First one was in April at 112, and the second one is in August at 118.
Okay.
And the second one in August, Frankie wins conclusively.
Hey,
Yeah.
damn.
He loses those 2 fights against Frankie Edgar, and it's like maybe that's kind of when you want to hang him up. Like,
Yeah.
You lost your lightweight
Come
title.
on. Like, I want this guy to hang it up, and this has already happened.
yeah.
It's just driving me crazy.
So November 20th of 2010, later that year,
Ugh.
he fights his 3rd and the rubber match against
Matt, I don't have a fucking ring name.
Kind of aggressive with normal
Hughes.
Lee, man.
What? I mean,
Why so angry?
a phone call fixes that. I don't
You
know.
made that name.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh,
21-second knockout. He knocks Matt Hughes the fudge
Yeah.
out.
the
Knockout
guy,
of
because
the
the guy
night.
hates himself. Look at his nickname.
Yeah, like that's not my fucking nickname, Hughes.
Yeah.
But yeah, knockout of the night. UFC 1-2-3. They gave him the 1-2-3.
1, 2, 3.
And that was 21-second knockout. This is one of the top 2 best knockouts of his career. The
Nice.
Uno 11-second knockout was
Ooh.
pretty fucking good too. But then he
Seconds.
knocks Matt Hughes, this guy who survived a literal fucking train crash later.
What?
after he retired, he
Another
survived getting
story.
hit by a train. But he knocks him out in 21 seconds. And then so he's got 8 more fights in his career, and he ends his career 7-0-1.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Oh shit, sorry. 0-7-1.
What?
He never wins another fight.
Damn.
So shit. Sorry.
Damn.
I feel like he 100% always thought he would win.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, think about these step up in weight classes.
Yeah.
He fought a 225-pound fucking dragon early, you know. And
I
then
want
he
to
fights
know
Matt Hughes to a
when was that
trilogy win.
that realization that
It was probably when he was a kid. He probably fought big old dudes in Hawaii. You know, I bet. You know,
it fought hard and
Yeah.
had older people go, damn.
he seemed like a guy that never backed down from a fight, and that kind of worked in his detriment because he lost the last 7 fights of his career, and they stretched over a 7-year span too, or you know, so there was a year off and a 2-year off.
Oh.
So he took breaks in
He
there.
was just getting some money though.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
even when you
'cause
lose, you get paid.
you make money because you're a draw, and I think he had started having kids at that point.
Yeah,
And
he
so-
needed money.
So the money thing was probably really important.
It's the same reason Steve Harvey keeps going back to the MMA.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve Harvey.
Oh, wait, no, Family Feud. I'm sorry, I got my fighting shows mixed up.
I'm picturing Steve Harvey in MMA now. We need to get him into the Pro Academy. Frank Fist, get him on the phone. Get Steve Harvey signed up.
And the afro shrink down to a mustache, and boom.
Here's the top 5 reasons I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Survey says.
Ding.
Loveable losers hanging out in the living room. Loveable losers telling stories and maybe drinking beers. Lovable, lovable, lovable losers.